with them. They may ask a question and we need to reply to them. It may be relevant to the work, it may not be relevant to the work. That's how I draw an analogy
So
between tabletop.
what you're saying is you're having good, precise conversations with your colleague at work.
Colleagues and seniors, yeah.
Seniors, which in turn will help your career, correct?
Yes, yes.
So the better you speak in office, better you speak in your workplace, speak with clients, better your career is going to be. Very nice. That's a very important point. Who else? What else can somebody share? Yeah, Melvin, go ahead. Unmute and speak.
Yeah, Ron, I think the most important thing I learned from the table topic is opening the mouth with presence of mind.
Okay.
So the thinking comes first, then the speaking follows.
Very nice. You're developing a presence of mind. So
Yes.
in any situation in the world, whatever you face, that will always come in handy when you might need it in a pinch to speak properly or to come up with an answer. Now, Melvin is a good example of behind every successful man, there is a... Hi, Rowan. How are you?
Hi, Ron. Good evening.
Yes. Good evening. Can you hear me clearly from there?
Yes.
Otherwise, we can send Melvin behind. Okay. Very good point, Melvin. You're developing a certain presence of mind. And as you get good at table topics, when you speak impromptu with other people in all different areas of your life, you'll start noticing that you are speaking more confidently. You're able to answer more quickly. You're able to think on your feet faster. Very nice. What else can we get out of table topics? Becoming good at table topics. Anybody else?
Maybe handling some awkward situations.
Very nice. I like that. Some table topics are so difficult that you really need to know how to formulate it. So sometimes in life, yes, one of the good examples I like to give is, suppose you are working for a large company and you get into a lift, and in the lift with you, your CEO is there. Now you know he's your CEO. What do? Do you look down at your shoes, or do you take the opportunity to greet him and have a chit chat with him? Does it have to be awkward, or can you have a decent conversation with somebody senior to you? Again, there are a lot of situations like that where having table topics gives you the confidence to interact with people around you, even in awkward situations, right? So that's a good point. You learn to cope with difficult situations and deal with those. What else?
How to lie confidently.
How to lie confidently. No, that is not what we are teaching here in Toastmasters and in table topics. Especially if you do that with your spouse, you are going to get killed. So, note of caution not to do that. And remember the RISE values: respect, integrity, service excellence. Integrity is very important. Don't lie. And but I get your point. I know you said it in humor, so I understand your point. You can have fun also with it. And I mean, you're sitting in a group of friends and you are teasing somebody, you're having fun. Table topics helps that way also. When you're interacting in a social group, you interact better, you connect better with your friends and family members. So that also is a plus. You might lie, you might not lie, but you will at least have a good time. Okay, so I think anybody else last before we move on. What do you think table topics? Anybody else? Sorry, go ahead. Who's there?
Yeah, so becoming good at elevator pitches.
Elevator pitches, exactly. So if you are you don't have to be in sales or you don't have to be an entrepreneur, but anytime you want to pitch something to somebody, part of your job, part of this, you become quick at it. It helps a lot in terms of client facing, speaking up in meetings. So in Toastmasters, a lot of people give us this feedback that when they joined Toastmasters, they barely were speaking out at their offices. But a few months, year in Toastmaster, they start speaking out in their meetings, their voices heard in their offices, their voices are heard by their colleagues. So that's a very important point. Thank you. Last, anything else before I move on?
Yeah, Ron, I think while speaking spontaneously in the meeting, I think your response should be structured way.
Very nice. I like that. I love that.
You have to.
Not only do you speak spontaneously, but you speak sensibly in a structured manner. The table topic trains you to think in a certain way, right? And when you talk also, that structure comes automatically when you speak outside. So very good points, all excellent points. We will cover those in the PPT. That's question number 1. Question number 2 is, I want to know what what makes you scared of table topics? What are your worries about table topics? Some of it will be obvious. Some, let's see what comes out. So who can tell me, when you think about table topic, what worries you most? And we'll
Uh,
try to address it during this session.
Articulation of thoughts and
Can you be a
pointers.
little bit more specific? What is that fear in that articulation?
So probably whenever I start speaking, until like 10 to 12 seconds, I can carry out my thoughts, but then eventually, there is like a brain fog or this brain freeze. I don't know for what reason, and
Yeah, so it's
then
very
blubbering.
common. So you start off nicely, but you're not able to carry that train of thought ahead.
Correct.
Right? That is
Yeah.
one of the fears which in table topics, and which is one of the benefits of table topics also, well, that you learn to carry that chain of thought ahead. Thanks. That's a good point. What else? What else are you afraid of?
Yeah, hi, am I audible?
Yeah, Amit, go ahead.
Yeah, the fear of like unknown, what will be the question? So
Yes,
there is
fear of
always a
unknown.
fear.
So the moment on you go on stage, you don't know what topic you're going to get. Just getting up from your seat and going to the stage can be very scary, right?
Right, right.
So that also is an important fear that comes out in table topics, which also we need to address. Very good. What else?
Not getting the required start.
Can you be more elaborate? What do you mean by
Like I
not
know
understanding the topic, or not just able to
I
formulate
understand the topic.
anything?
And the idea will come after 2-3 minutes, but during that period, I'll be like completely blank.
So basically, there's a very common phenomena. We all must have experienced it at some point in time. When we are on the stage, nothing comes to our mind. We go and sit down at the seat, and then suddenly all the ideas start pouring in. Okay, I should have said this. I could have said that. I could have. Yeah, that's very common. So it's very important to be able to formulate your thoughts when you're actually on stage or on the spot, right? Yeah. So that's a valid fear that you will not be able to come up with something when you're on the spot. Very good. What else?
Yeah, for me, there are thoughts, but there is no structural way to how to put those thoughts.
So the fear is you will ramble and say something that
Ah,
doesn't make
yes,
sense and it can go anywhere, right?
yes,
So
yes.
that is
Yes.
that's also a valid fear. Now, why am I asking all of you these fears? Because this is something which through table topics, not only through this session, but whatever you do after this session is something we need to address in a systematic way. And I'll take you through certain things which will help you to take on table topics better. I'll be giving this education session more from a point of view of the contest that is coming up, because a lot of you have decided to take part. I'm very happy to hear that, to see that. So from the contest, but generally also from the table topics perspective, we'll try to address how we can take care of these fears, these issues, these things that will come up when you're in table topics. So with me so far, everybody is, any questions so far? Yeah, with me. So I'll move to my presentation. Just give me a second to set it up. Can everybody see the presentation clearly? Okay, excellent. So as we go on, please jump in and let's have it interactive. So why is table topics impromptu speaking important? So these are the basically things which we already took from all the audience members. Improves quick thinking, builds confidence. So becoming a good table topic speaker can make a big difference to your confidence in all areas of your life. Encourages creativity. Something like Somnath was saying, you become good at lying, or you become good at in a social setting. It brings out your natural creativity. Improves general knowledge and world affairs. This is a side effect of becoming a good table topic speaker. You start to talk about all types of different types of topics and things which are, earlier, which were not part of your vocabulary, not part of your normal what you would speak. So that is also something that you can get out of table topics. You can become very good at general knowledge, world affairs. Um, Helps you make conversation and networking among in a social group. You can sit, you can talk well, because the table topics will open that up for you. And lastly, somebody had made the point, when you speak well with your colleagues, you will speak well in the office, it helps your career also, right? So this is why we are actually putting so much effort, why Toastmasters put so much effort into table topics, why we putting so much effort into table topics, and why becoming good at table topics is important. Okay, so everybody with me? Yeah, so far?
Ron, the slide is.
Can you see the slide?
It's the first slide. I can see the slide that you're presenting.
Can you see fuel for a great table topic? That is not being visible.
No,
It's just
I
the
think
title slide.
Just a
I
I
think
think
you
you have
should-
to go into presentation mode, Ron.
Presentation mode.
Oh, okay. Just give me a second. I am in presentation mode. Now, 1 second.
It's showing fuel for a great table topic speaker. That's what it's saying.
Okay, now I'm going to go back. Can you see the change?
No.
Okay, how do I do this? There is a slide control over here.
Can you press F5?
Go to the slideshow. It will move.
I am in the slideshow mode on my PC.
I think you have selected only one app, and which is that your base PPT, not the presentation one.
Okay. So let me just do a broader share. That's a good point. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Now can you see the PPT?
Yes.
Yes.
Going back?
Yes.
Yes.
Excellent. Okay.
Yes. Now
So
it
let
works.
me ask you. Ask you a very silly question. If you are going to go for a long drive in your brand new car or an old car or whatever car, most important thing for you, what would be, is to fill the fuel, right? Because to reach point A to point B, you need to make sure that your petrol tank is full. If you don't have the fuel in your tank, what will happen? The car will stall right in the middle. Correct? Simple analogy. Now I want to ask you guys, and please feel free to unmute and share. What is fuel for a great table topic speaker?
Vocabulary.
Very nice, Prasad. Thank you. Vocabulary.
Confidence.
Confidence, I won't take it as fuel. I like what you said, but I won't take it under this category. What else?
Stories.
Stories. Okay, stories, anecdotes. Very nice. That's fuel for a table topic speaker. What else can be fuel for a table topic speaker?
Structured
I think
thinking.
good general knowledge and knowledge of
Very
current
nice.
affairs.
General knowledge and current affairs.
Yeah.
Correct. Very nice. Okay, what else?
Being able to adjust on the fly. So
No,
your
you are
adaptability.
Shubhayan, you are talking about tactics. I'm talking about fuel. What can you do as a person generally in life to become a better table topic speaker? What is the fuel that you will fill yourself with so that when you go on stage, you have something in the petrol tank? So general knowledge, stories, those will all be part of what will come out on the stage. You understand? So from that point of view, what else can be a fuel?
People around you to whom you can talk or share experiences, or basically have a short table topic session. Everyone.
I'm not 100% convinced on that. I'm looking for something which maybe you can do on your own when you're not giving the table.
It's a good reading habit.
Reading habit,
Yes,
very
yes.
nice, Melvin. Reading habit is excellent fuel for table topics. Suppose if you're not going to read entire books, at least read magazines, read current affairs, articles, read those blog website, podcast websites, read whatever you can for that. So reading is very important. What else?
Being a good listener,
Listening to what?
basically to the topic, because most of the time
No,
the
you are gone
direction
one
of the
step ahead, Neeraj. We are talking about table topics. I'm talking of pre-table topics. Even before you go
Okay.
into table topics, even before you enter the club, this is in your life.
Podcast.
Podcast.
Very nice, good. Listen to podcasts. These are all important things because a lot of people come on stage and they expect to speak just naturally and very fluently. But you don't have any fuel in you. You have not studied anything. You have not listened to anybody. You have not read anything. You are not aware about the current affairs. Then how will you take it? What will come out on stage? That is the question I'm trying to address. So if you want, this is kind of a long term also. It doesn't mean that today you'll start reading and tomorrow you'll be a good table topic speaker. In the long term, you have to fill your mind with useful information that can be used in table topics. So can you see my screen? Is the screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible,
Yes,
Ron. Now it's
yes.
good.
Yes.
So fuel for a great table topic speaker is reading books or reading anything, articles and magazines, whatever interests you. Listening to podcasts where you get good ideas. Those ideas can come out when you're on stage. Very important quotes and sayings. This is something you can do actually before the table topic contest. Either buy a book on quotations or go online and go through a lot of quotations, read up on quotations, learn some good quotations that you can use in your table topics and also in life generally also. Stories and fables. Fantastic way to engage an audience is stories. And if you have a reservoir of stories within you, then when you go on stage, one of those stories might apply. And if you get the right story, that's it. Success, table topic successful. Stories can be personal stories. Stories can be fables and fairy tales, or stories with what do you call, with learnings in it. News and current opinions. Opinion piece by experts. Again, it comes under podcast, but you can read blogs, and also writing for yourself also is very important fuel for a great table topic speaker. And very important for a table topic to become a good table topic speaker. When you are not on the stage, what you can do is what we call shadow practicing. Does anybody know what shadow practicing means and where this term comes from?
Boxing. Shadow boxing.
Yes. Who said that?
Yoganand.
Yeah, Yoganand, thank you. Shadow boxing. Shadow boxing is when the boxer does not have an opponent in front of him, but they still practice boxing, right? In thin air. You must have seen them doing it, which is called shadow boxing. You're not boxing against an imaginary opponent. Same way, while you're traveling, while you're free, you can give yourself a topic and try to formulate a structured response. In this case, you will be sitting with no pressure. Nobody is going to be showing you a green card, yellow card, red card, and see what kind of ideas you can generate out of topics. You can go to Chat GPT and just type out, share 5 to 10 table topics. It will immediately give you a very nice, interesting list of table topics, and you can start shadow practicing yourself. I do that when I'm traveling. I give myself topics, and then I'm in my mentally only. I am trying to formulate some good ideas and this about it. It makes a big difference. So before you even reach the club level, before you even reach the stage, these things, this fuel can help you become an excellent table topic. Some things will take time. Some things you can do immediately. Any questions so far?
Yes, Ron, I have one question.
Yeah, Mahesh.
While choosing these table topics, whether you should choose these topics from a domain or you should go for general topics just to, improve your public speaking.
I'll come to that. Just put a pin in it for now. I'll address this specific question in a little while. It's a very good question. What kind of table topics should you prepare for? Right? Good question. Anybody else? Anything else about fuel for table topics? I think it's pretty clear, right? Okay. Now, before we go, now the part which is there before the meeting, before we go into table pod, now is the part where we are talking about you are come to the meeting, you're ready to go on stage, right? Now we're talking about the actual tactics and actual part of going on stage and giving the table topic, right? Now, before I go into that, I'd like to address Mahesh's question because it is important over here. So I'll ask a question. Generally, table topics, they fall under certain buckets. If you look at like 10, 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 table topics over time, they usually fall under certain buckets. Can anybody share what kind of buckets they fall under? General topics they fall under. Yes,
Theme
Alex.
of the session.
No, I'm looking for something more specific.
Politics.
Politics, very nice. Okay.
Experiences.
Sorry.
Personal experience.
Personal experiences, very nice.
Environment.
Environment. Okay, that is a bit narrow. Let's go a little broader.
Imaginary situation and maybe
I'm looking for 2-3 very general ones. I'm surprised you guys have not got it.
Personal.
The sayings by
Yeah, Girish,
sayings
just
of
unmute and speak. Go ahead, Girish.
The general table topic could be more about your psychologically
psychological questions, how you think.
Yes. That is there. Or I'm looking at
Yes
broader
and no.
categories. You guys are going very narrow. I'm looking broader.
Personal.
Fiction, non-fiction.
Sorry, come again.
Fiction, non-fiction.
Fiction, non-fiction. No, that I don't think that is it.
Everyday
I'll give you a
situation.
hint. I'll give you a hint.
Friendship, emotions.
Wealth.
Hmm.
Lot of topics are talking about wealth. Time is money. Health is wealth. Another big broad bucket is health. Getting it? An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Family.
Family, very good. Relationships. Let's call it relationships rather than family, right? What else? What are the other broad buckets generally we get in table topics? Try to think of the last table topic you got on stage. What was the broad bucket it fell under?
It could be
Learning.
exercise. It could be put into exercise.
Exercise, again, I'll put it under health.
Learning.
Learning is again specific. Can you be more broad?
Entertainment.
Entertainment, yes, that's a good bucket. Yes.
EQ, IQ.
EQ, IQ, very nice. Self-development could be a broad bucket, right?
Yes.
Reaction towards certain situations.
Could be
Reaction
pertain to
to certain
emotions.
Sorry?
Emotions.
Emotions again becomes more specific.
Okay.
The reason I'm asking for this, yeah, Ajay, boliye sir.
Yeah. Taglines or advertisement.
Quotations, can we call it quotations or sayings?
Quotations it's not related to quote, but it's a tagline.
So what would
Nike, just
taglines
do
be?
you.
Go one step above taglines. What does it encompass? Advertising?
Advertising, yes.
Or general knowledge or current affairs?
Yes.
It would come under current affairs?
Not the current affairs exactly.
Films,
But the
movies?
advertisement you can.
Yeah. Movies,
Just
films, movies can
advertisement
also
we
be a
can
big
see.
bucket. Advertising can be a big bucket also. Yes, I agree. So why I'm trying to say is reason I'm bringing this up is because Mahesh's question was that when we are preparing for table topics, when we are doing shadow boxing with table topics, what kind of topics do we pick? You need to pick topics which fall into one of these broad buckets, right? Health, wealth, general knowledge, quotations, um, movies and movies and generally advertising, things like that. They usually these topics fall under these buckets. And if you have certain things which you are ready about, you have certain ideas, certain quotations, certain stories for each bucket. So if you have one or two stories for the health bucket, if you have one or two stories for the wealth bucket, if you have a couple of quotes for this bucket or that bucket, when you go on stage, immediately you know that the topic has fallen into this bucket, so you can immediately start talking in that way. Yeah, Melvin, go ahead.
Yeah, Ron, basically the broader aspect is, or bucket, we can say, the philosophy and information. Any tagline or any phrase is having a certain philosophy attached to that.
I think that's a very nice way to put it. Yes.
Yeah, and as in information that that is falling into like current affairs and anything related to that. And then imagination plays a very big basket where anything can be imagined, and normally sometimes if you are become a prime minister of the country, what will you do? There is like current affairs coming into action as well as imagination coming into action.
Okay, I agree with that. That is a good point. So generally, when you are preparing table topics, you generally prepare in terms of the buckets you want to address, the philosophy behind the topics you want to address, as Melvin has said. Okay, let's move on. Any questions so far? Okay, so let's move on. Now we comes to the crux of the matter. You are in the hall. You are sitting. The contest chair takes out your name. Contestant Melvin Busalo. Melvin goes on stage and the topic is read. Now, Toastmasters recommends this 5-step formula when you are on stage, when the topic is given to you. First is very important, listen. It is amazing how many people don't do this basic thing. And when I mean listen is not hear the topic. I mean really listen to the topic, repeat it in your mind quietly. listen quietly and try to kind of get every word of that topic which the contest chair has spoken. A lot of people just at this stage only lose the contest or don't are not able to address the table topics. Second, I have seen a lot of people, as soon as they get the topic, they start speaking. This is a big mistake. What you need to do is first, you need to pause, take a breath, compose yourself, smile at the audience. You have 1 to 2.5 minutes. You can spend 5 seconds to 10 seconds just composing yourself. What I like to do is I just put my head down for 5 seconds, compose myself, then I raise my head up and I address the audience. You don't lose any points in this, but you start in a very balanced and very this calm manner topic. Another thing you can do is repeat the topic. You can repeat the topic when the table topic master says it, and you can repeat the topic before you actually go into the crux of the table topic. Now, one very nice trick which I have learned was that when the table topic master gives a topic, you thank the table topic master and talk about the topic itself. Like, thank you, table topic master, for this topic. This topic XYZ is so interesting, that so nice. And I really look forward to sharing my views on this topic. Something like that can help you reinforce the topic within yourself. Then, of course, you have to actually do the work, speak confidently and clearly, right? You have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. You have to make sure your thoughts are clear and you are speaking clear. This comes from practice. This is not something I can give you a tactic for. And last, a lot of people panic when they see the red card. Don't panic. Take a deep breath. Close with some sort of summary and some kind of takeaway. The entire point of this formula is there is a certain structure you can use to not panic, not rush into it. Just do it calmly and peacefully. Give the entire topic calmly and peacefully in a structured manner. Listen, pause, confirm the topic, very important. Speak confidently, clearly, close with a summary. Any questions on this part? Hello, anybody there? Hello.
Yeah, Ron, one question on this is
Yes.
that when you say pause, I mean, I'm assuming that the timer will start only after I start speaking, right? He doesn't start the
No,
time.
the timer is given a default when he will start the clock, whether you have spoken or not. So they
Is
will
it?
give you the benefit of doubt for 5 to 10 seconds. It depends on the chief judge. The
Okay.
chief judge might tell somebody to tell the timer that if he doesn't do anything for 10 seconds, then start the clock.
Okay.
They
okay.
won't wait for you forever.
Fair enough.
But
Okay.
they will
So
give you a benefit of doubt for you to compose yourself before you start speaking.
sure. Okay.
And even if they don't, even if they just press the button immediately, taking 5-10 seconds out of 2.5 minutes is not going to really make that much of a difference either.
Yes. Yes. Thanks.
Somebody once asked me, how long can I pause? I said, you can pause for 2.5 minutes.
Hi Ron, actually I have my question in the context of more of the structure. Like
Yes.
for evaluation, we use the sandwich method.
Yes.
Here,
So I'll come to that. Just put a pin in the question. We'll come to the structure. Yeah. Anything in terms of setting up for the stage, setting up to start. Yeah, Girish, go ahead.
Yes. My problem when I face a table topic is whenever I heard the table topics, so many thought comes into my mind, and many times it's very confusing which thought to pick it up and elaborate. Many times whenever I finish my table topic, I thought, had I chose another thought, my table topic would have been better.
See,
So
that happens. That will get better with practice.
Okay.
But also, what I feel, this is my personal view, is that the thought which comes instinctively to you
Okay.
is what I usually go with.
Okay.
So I don't go and second guess myself too much.
Okay.
Right? If I feel okay, if I found a clear path where I can start at least,
Okay.
I will immediately take it up.
Oh.
Even though I might get stuck a little ahead down the path and I might have to use my use really breakthrough out of that.
Okay.
But if I am getting a clear idea, then I usually take that instinct.
Okay.
Sometimes it comes out, most of the time it comes out well.
Okay.
Sometimes that path ends in a dead end, and that's all right.
Okay.
But that is why pausing can give you that little bit of time to self-reflect and choose the path you want to go with the table topic.
Yeah.
And if you are taking too much time and you're going into panic mode, just go with the first thing that comes to your mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes,
Any
thank
other
you.
questions?
So, Ron, basically, in our everyday lives, right, we probably use swear words, or else we probably, certain jargons. But in a professional context and setup like this, then it becomes very difficult to, articulate our thoughts in that way, because we tend to use certain sorts of words which we cannot use in such a professional setup. So, how do you deal with that?
So basically, you're saying that there are certain things that you can use in your normal language, which you will not be able to use in the table topic session during a contest or in the club, right? So
Yes.
the thing is, I don't know how to really answer that question, except that I would suggest that even in normal usage, in your normal life, try to cut down on those kind of words, right? Now, if you're hanging out with friends and you want to use those kind of language, it's fine. But generally, try to cut it down, because what you do in your normal life reflects on the stage a lot, right? But on the stage, you're also more conscious about the audience. So sometimes you blurt out these kind of words, and it's okay. You don't have to beat yourself about it. But a little bit of conscious effort you will have to make if you're used to using such words in normal life. But also in normal life, I would suggest you kind of change yourself. See, table topics will improve when you change yourself internally as well. It's not only about what you do on stage. It's how you change as a speaker, how you change as somebody who emotes, how you change as somebody who conveys ideas and communicates, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So try to cut down on the way you speak normally also, and that will reflect on the stage as well. But on stage, you can be a little bit more kind of attentive about what you are saying. Any last thing? I'll need to move on quickly now. Anything else on this part?
Ron, will
Yeah.
this five-step formula would work even for the props? Not if not the topic. If they give only props, then
Yeah. Why not? Why not? Why not? A prop is a topic in itself, right?
yeah.
But I don't think we give props as a topic. I never come across something like that.
In the contest they don't.
No,
Is it?
no, they don't.
Okay.
In the
Okay.
last Toastmasters meeting, we had some props. I think that's where the question
That
came
in a
from.
normal club level you do,
The
but the
normal club
contest you will
meeting,
not encounter. Okay, so I've got a lot of ground to cover, so I'll move ahead. We can come back to the questions later on again. Again, just reiterating what we have been talking. Right approach is be confident. I've seen a lot when you come on stage, move towards the audience. A lot of speakers move back away from the audience, go towards the audience, get as close to the audience without making anybody in the first row uncomfortable. So just go towards the audience whenever you're speaking. It conveys that you are confident, you're not scared of the audience. Again, be brief, keep to your point. We'll come to the structures in a little while. Be sincere. If you don't know anything about the topic, don't try to BS your way out of it. Be honest. Okay, didn't understand the topic very well, but this is what I understood, and these are my ideas. So be don't be try to kind of BS the audience. People will know when you're trying to fake it, right? Don't try to make up stuff out of your comfort zone. Try to speak from where you know what you're talking about. People appreciate that, and it's always okay to admit that you don't know the topic fully. Okay, I'll move quickly because we're running out of time. Okay, now coming back to the table topics, very important for each of you who are taking part in the table topic contest to study the ballot, because this is can everybody see the ballot?
Yes.
Yeah, so Somnath, can you put the ballot on the group later on, PDF file?
Yes.
Just to share with everybody. So the ballot is very important. This is basically the breakup. Speech development and effectiveness is 30 and 25 points. So basically the heart of the speech, whether you're conveying the right ideas, how you structured it, do your points make sense, logic, directness, enthusiasm, they are all comes up to almost half the score. So speech development is opening, body closing. Do you follow structure, organization, and smoothness? Again, that comes with a lot of practice. Second is effectiveness. Did it make sense? Was there logic to what you were saying? Was it directness? Was there enthusiasm? Were you engaging with the audience? Was whatever the topic was, did you connect with the topic? Achievement of purpose, audience response. Did the audience connect with you? Were you able to connect with the audience? That comes under effectiveness. If the audience is looking down at their phones after a minute, then you have not connected with the audience. The audience doesn't like what you are saying. 15 points go to physical. Physical is actually, these physical points are the easiest to get. Up your confidence. Have your body language open, go towards the audience, use hand gestures, smile, speak loudly. Even if you're not feeling confident, fake it. Fake the confidence. Don't fake the subject matter. Fake the confidence, right? Voice, very important to have a clear and volume. So when they do a mic check, make sure that volume can be heard at the back. That volume you should speak. That's 15 points. So physical and voice are 30 points, which you can easily gain, not by doing too much also, just by being confident and speaking well, clearly, having a positive body language. Appropriateness. This is very important. Like somebody asked the question, the language which I use and all that, does it in my personal life, what if I say it on stage? If you don't use proper, appropriate language and appropriate words and appropriate thoughts for the audience, you always have to think from the point of view of the audience. Like sex, religion, and politics is something which we avoid in Toastmasters. But if you start talking very controversially, then the judges might feel that the appropriateness is not right for this audience and may cut your marks. So it has to connect with the speech topic as well, and it also has to be appropriate for the audience. And Indian audiences are very sensitive, so you have to be very careful. Sex, religion, politics, avoid unless the topic is pushing you into something, but even then try not to be controversial. Be insightful, not controversial. Last is correctness. Grammar, pronunciation, word selection, that is 5 points. That again depends on your skill with the English language. With practice, that can also improve. But the bulk of the marks, points, are to how you formulate your thought, structure them, and deliver them. So any questions on this ballot?
Hi, one question.
Yes, go ahead.
Can I go ahead?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, when it is coming to the effectiveness, that is very clear from the ballot point of view. But I have noticed that when it is coming to language, the appropriateness of the language and the correctness of the language is not properly taken by the I can say judges or the even the people. Because if the vocabulary is very strong of the person who is speaking, then the effectiveness is also influenced. But most of the time, that is taken for the appropriateness. That is the strength of the language. But also it is taken for the correctness. Correctness is just 5 marks, which is like you are using a very affluent English or you are using an ordinary English. Doesn't matter as long as you are speaking the correct English.
No, so what was the question?
Here I see that okay, the 15 marks get compromised most of the time.
See, the thing is, we cannot control how the judges mark, right? We can only control how we speak and how we convey idea, what language we use, what pronunciations we use, how appropriate ours is. Now it is up to us to do our best and go on stage and convey our ideas and convey our thoughts. And I really wouldn't get into too much worry about whether the judges are marking you correctly or incorrectly, because that is something you have zero control over.
Absolutely.
What you must focus on is your delivery, your language, your pronunciation, your appropriateness. And then also every judge is different. Every judge's understanding is different. Seniority is different. They also judging, although we say we have to judge only individually, there is the effect of the contestants ahead and behind you also. So there are a lot of factors that are completely out of your control. So what I would suggest is forget about that. This is only as a guide to make sure your delivery is good. Then what the judges do with that is completely out of your hands. I wouldn't worry about it, very honestly.
Perfect.
Any other questions about the ballots? Shall we move ahead?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, now we come across, we're running out of time, but I'll try to quickly cover these quick strategies. When we are talking about table topics can be structured in a certain way. But these structures you must have to take with a pinch of salt, because when you go on the stage and you're given a topic, it is very difficult for you to think like, I will use this structure to do it. It's basically, this has to come almost instinctively. But knowing the structures is very important, because with practice, you will know that it automatically falls under this kind of structure, right? So the basic structures which we have noticed when we get table topics is a structure which forces you to give an opinion. Is AI beneficial for humankind? Is the topic. Suppose is the topic. Immediately it forces you to give your opinion for or against. Some of you might say that AI is going to destroy humanity. Some might say AI is the best thing that has happened to humanity since XYZ, right? So some topics immediately will allow you to make an opinion and press that opinion. Those topics are excellent because if you have an opinion, you can express that opinion. And we are usually very good at giving our opinions and kind of reinforcing them with information, with ideas. So one strategy for doing it is for and against. You get the topic, immediately jump either for or against it. Another strategy for you is a certain topic, which is chicken or egg, right? So money or time could be a topic. So which is important? Is money important or is your time important? So what I usually like to do is, when I get chicken or egg kind of topics, I like to do chicken and egg. So you can choose your own tactics on how to deal with a chicken or egg kind of situation. When the topic pits two things against each other and you have two this is not for or against, it's basically what is important. Is money important or time important? Is wealth important or health important? Health or wealth, something like that. So you always have to kind of justify what is important against the other. So chicken or egg, you can talk about halfway through the chicken and you can talk half of the speech about the egg. This is also a very common type of topic that will come to you in the contest. Another topic is addressing cause and effect. So some topics will ask you to talk about how, suppose for example, the world is becoming more polluted, or something about the environment. This is an excellent topic for you to go to talk about a cause. How did this happen? This is the effect. And maybe if you get time, even talk about a solution. So this is another structure you can use, where depending on what topic you get, you can talk about the cause, effect, and solution. Fixate on a word is one more strategy. Many times you might get a topic which is difficult to understand. You're not getting it. You're not understanding what the topic is. So one simple trick you can do is take just one word or a phrase from the topic. It could be more than one word, and just talk about that particular word. So if the topic sometimes is something very technical or something which you are completely out of the comfort zone, there might be a word or phrase which will be in your comfort zone, and you can take that topic into a different area. Now you might lose some marks because of that, because you're not addressing directly to the topic. But if you are able to talk well on that particular word which you've picked, then you will definitely get marks in the other areas as well. So it might be that you might not be able to win, but at least you will have a very good performance if you just pick that one word and run with it. So many times it happens when you will get very difficult topics, pick a word, pick a phrase out of it, ignore the rest of the topic and just go ahead with that. Fifth and last is past, present, and future. Table topic like, is India the next global superpower? This is a beautiful topic to go past, present, and future. Past, in the 70s, India was just coming out of the British Raj. We were a poor country. We were just coming out. Today, we are a burgeoning middle class country with a very powerful economy. And this, tomorrow, we will be future, we will be a global superpower, blah, blah, blah. So there are topics which allow you to go like A, B, C, past, present, future. So look for that also. That is also a way which you can. So what the whole point of this is, you will get a strategy, you will get a structure within the topic itself. The structure could be for and against, chicken or egg, cause and effect. Pick out a word from the topic, or past, present, and future. Does this make sense? Any questions?
Yeah, Toastmaster Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a question in regards to the for and against method of structuring.
Yeah, it's the most common one, yes.
Yeah. So what I have observed in myself and by extension amongst others as well is that when proposed with a for and against topic, what most people end up doing is they start off with a stance, then they go to the opposite stance, and then they conclude with a middle ground. So is that a
If you can have the presence of mind and the time to do that, no problem. There are no fixed rules. It's completely up to you.
Okay, understood.
But
Thanks for
the thing
clarifying.
is, yeah, but the thing is, immediately you realize that this topic is very good for and against.
Right.
So the whole idea of this slide is for you to understand that topics follow certain structures which you can use to structure your own speech. So immediately if you pick a for and against, how you use the for and against is completely up to you. Go for, against, or neutral.
Right.
You can be neutral also. You can play both sides. But the key is that you recognize this topic is good for against. Yeah. Any other questions?
One question, Ron,
Sure,
on the second last strategy, fix it on word. So if
Hmm.
I get a topic and I don't understand the topic or word within it, instead of me trying to get out of it, I engage the audience and try to get the feedback. I mean, get the understanding of the topic or word from the audience and start conversation with that. Will
That's
that
a very interesting thing, but a bit risky also, because you don't know what kind of thing you will get from the audience, right? What kind of response you get from the audience also. It's a bit risky, but I'll come to that. If you completely don't understand the topic, it's completely out of your. I'll come to that also in the next slide. But yeah, engaging with the audience for you to understand the topic is very risky, because even the audience might not have understood the topics. Then what are you going to do? And how much conversation are you going to have with the audience? You are supposed to be giving the table topic, Yeah, so when it comes to that, you do whatever it takes. Feel free to experiment. There's nothing, no right and wrong in all this.
Thank you.
Yeah, but asking a question to the audience, whether it's a table topic or it's a prepared speech or anything in Toastmasters, is always the very good strategy. Always a very good strategy. Always have that in your back pocket. Interaction with the audience is always a big plus for the judges. If you look at the ballot, there is a good score for audience interaction also. Any other questions on this? So this is not definitive. There are other strategies for dealing with it. Before we close, I'll quickly tell you one of the strategies which I used to use early on when I used to do table topics. I used to use the strategy called whenever a topic was given, I used to talk about the topic. Wow, what a wonderful topic, how relevant it is to the audience, blah, blah, blah. Then I would narrate some personal story related to the topic, and I would end the table topic on a takeaway for the audience. So I used to follow this 3 structure. Talk about the topic related to me, and then talk about the topic related to the audience with a takeaway. Doesn't always work, but you can always try some formula of your own. It's how you carry it off, that depends. Okay, we'll move forward and then maybe come back to questions again. What happens when you go blank? It is going to happen once in a while. There are going to be times when you'll get bad topics. It's okay. You just relax. Don't panic. Don't take it personally. Number one you can do is request the topic again. You can ask the table topic master to repeat the topic. Maybe just hearing the topic again might trigger something. Right? I think Prasad has said, right? Ask the audience a question. Now, don't ask the audience about the topic. Ask a question which might help you to go ahead with the topic, right? So that's always a good strategy. Ask the audience a question. Another way, when you are not feeling like nothing is coming, crack a joke. It could be something as simple as, oh my God, I'm feeling so tense. Is anybody else tense here? Everybody maybe laughs nervously because something, it just relaxes you. Maybe something might suddenly come into your mind and you go ahead. Usually when you go blank is because you are very tense. The fear has got to you finally. So your brain is not just frozen. So you have to try to unfreeze it a little bit. So you can just crack a joke and relax yourself, relax the audience, and something might get going. Worst case scenario, it's very okay to just say, sorry, I'm not getting anything. Shake the table topic master's hand and go and sit on your seat. Important thing is, don't be upset. It happens to the best of us. I have failed. Best table topic speakers I know have failed. You will also fail once in a while. Maybe the level of failure might be different for different people, but it's okay to say, I'm not getting anything. Sorry, tata, bye bye, and go and sit down. And there is absolutely no shame, no nothing in that. Happens to the best of us. Any questions on this part? No? Has everybody gone blank? Okay, so I'll move on.
Ron,
Yeah.
just in the strategies, not normally I came across like, okay, the prep strategy, which you have actually explained that you go on the point. The R stands for reason why you are taking the point or the stand, then explain, and then conclude with the point, saying that that's the reason I'm concluding these points. So PREP.
Yeah, that also works. There are many such strategies. I have picked, see, my thing is not about those strategies which will work like that in table topics. What I want to convey to the members here is that every topic has a certain structure which allows you to approach it in a certain manner.
Correct.
Then what structure you want to personally use, you can choose. But recognizing what kind of topic it is gives you a big leverage on how you actually convey it. Now, when you say prep and all these things, when you go on stage, now all goes out of the mind. I rarely have been able to take a PREP type strategy and convey it convincingly. With somebody with seniority and like you with a lot of years of experience might be able to pull it off. But for somebody on stage, the moment the topic comes, the first thing is panic. So to kind of overcome that, I'm trying to say that recognize what type of topic it is.
Correct.
And that will give you your strategy to go ahead. Whether it's a for and against topic or a cause and effect or a past, future, present topic, or if you don't understand a topic, pick up a word. Basically, it gives a gateway for you to start talking. Yeah. But yeah, there are many such structures, but I'm not a very good proponent of having structures in table topic like that, unless you are a bit experienced. Yeah, Sham, please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. This question is based on experience of watching a lot of contests and also judging contests.
Yeah.
There have been occasions where, unfortunately, the contest chair's pronunciation or the description of the topic, though it is not in our control, comes out, and the contestant speaks what he or she thinks is what he or she.
Yes.
In that case, could you throw light whether the judging is based on the delivery on the topic or on how this thing is done? I mean, of course, it's a point of view from the judge, but as a contestant, how do we take it? Once we realize that, yes, I come to know that because I see the audience reaction and I see that they're going a little bit, and you take feedback from the audience and they keep telling you that you're going off track.
So what happens is many times this happened to me in contests also with other contestants, and they misheard the topic. But they misheard the topic and they spoke very well on it. So the judges will take into account that, yeah, you've misheard the topic and they will cut the marks on it. Now, if the contest chair is not pronouncing what am I saying? Pronouncing it properly, and the judges will take that into account that the contest chair is only goofing up a little bit, so they might take that into account when they're giving the marks. But what will happen is the contest chair is saying it properly, but you have misheard it. It can happen. or miss, because in the brain, what happens also sometimes your brain kind of scrambles things up a little bit. Misheard it. Now you might give a terrific speech on the topic you've misheard, but if somebody gives a all right speech on the topic right on the button, they might give that person advantage over you. So judges will appreciate that you spoke on the topic, even if you misheard it, but they might not choose to reward you with a win for that. And they might give you good marks. You might come second or third also, depending on what the others have done. But I've rarely seen anybody misheard a topic and then win the contest. That usually doesn't happen. Yes, somebody else?
Hi, Ron. Sorry
Ah.
to interrupt. We have 10 more minutes, so we have to
10 more minutes, so I'm finished.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'd like to close this and we'll go into 5 minutes of questions with this. Table topics is not something you can always succeed at. Remember, when you are hot, you are hot. When you are not, you are not. Sometimes you will succeed and sometimes you will fail. It's okay. It takes a lot of time and practice to become a good speaker. It's very important. If you have to take away one thing from my session, you just remember that it's okay to fail. Every one of us has failed at some point on, table topics. Someday it's like T20 cricket. Sometimes all the balls you just hit go for a 6. Sometimes you're bowled out on 0. Do not take it personally. Don't make an ego issue. Learn what you can. Don't feel bad. Don't get depressed about it. Bounce back quickly and try again and again and again. And you'll fail again and try again. That is how you become a good speaker. Yes, Amit.
Well, I have a question that as you
now let's open it up for more general questions. Thanks guys for listening for such a long time. I hope it is valuable to you guys. Yeah,
a
go
question,
ahead.
Ron, is that if a contestant is unable to understand the topic in 2 times in the announcement, whether he or she can ask to the contestant to repeat it 3rd time?
Yes, there is. I think now they have allowed that, but it will be taken from your time. Earlier few years, let's confirm this also. Somnath, let's confirm this point also from the rule book. But earlier they used to not allow the contestant to repeat the topic. Now they do. You can ask for a repetition of the topic, but it will come out of your time.
Because I learned this and heard this thing from you only a couple of years back. That topic will be announced or repeated twice. After that, if you contestant is unable to get whatever is coming in his or her mind,
they've
they can
changed
go
the
ahead.
rule now. I think we'll have to confirm this also.